What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode here on Shellbag Toy Rewind. And you know I still got to be sticking with the Halloween theme. That's why I'm doing TMNT toys that were dead on arrival. Basically, we're going to be talking about a few TMNT toys and vehicle ideas that for whatever reason just didn't quite make it to production. Obviously, some of these ideas are more well-known than others. I think anybody that collects TMNT knows about the Star Wars or Indiana Jones ideas and things that they wanted. Even the Mike Knight is pretty popular and well-known. But today we're going to be diving a little bit deeper and showing a few sketches and drawings and prototypes for some of these that you might not have known. Alright, and here is that original artwork from Mike Knight. Over there on the right is an axe that was supposed to go along with him that apparently nobody has seen since these pictures. But yeah, I guess he was just supposed to be a knight in shining armor. There is his prototype shield, and here is some original drawings for him with coffee stains and everything. But Mike Knight wasn't the only one that didn't make the cut in this line. Sewer Warcat here, super well-known prototype here. A lot of people would have liked to have seen this one come out. It's just a super cool looking figure. I know this was sort of kind of towards the end of the run, but man, this thing just would have been awesome. Here is some sketches of it, and we've got the clay sculpt right here and the unpainted Warcat right there. But what you might not have known, they also were considering coming out with a armored horse for Mike Knight, which would have been pretty cool as well. Great ideas for this character. Man, just kind of sad that they didn't come out with these. Another one in this line, another pretty popular and well-known one is Spellcaster Splinter. Man, this guy right here would have been fantastic. Came with some cool accessories, and don't worry guys, we'll get to some more in-depth ones. Try and hang in there through these. I know most of my audience is pretty in the know when it comes to these prototypes. Alright, and also we've seen Raph as the elf, but over here, yes, that would have been pretty cool. But over here on the right is two more figures that were considered for the Forgotten Sewer line. The Shredder that never made it past the design phase, and then there was this Warrior Turtle, which they're not really sure if it's kind of like an early design for Mike Knight or if it was just kind of a standalone figure, and we may never know. But one thing is for sure, that Black Knight Shredder would have been sick. Alright, but here's two early drawings for Savage Leo and Warrior Bebop, but down here is an early drawing or an early idea for a Cyclops Bebop, which, man, that thing looks fantastic. That would have been super cool, but I guess they thought that it might have been a little bit too scary for the kids. How unfortunate. Alright, but I jumped the gun a little bit. Let's go back to the beginning. This is some of the ideas that they proposed for the bad guys in the very beginning, 1987. Alright, some of these ideas included a punked out commando that carries an air-powered gun, a one-legged football player that kicks a spiky football with a spring-loaded mechanical leg, and we've also got Mr. Bad Wrench. He's a mechanic with a wrench wrist, and we've got a leather jacked motorcycle gang member and a garbage man that launches garbage from his garbage can backpack. And here are some of the sketches from those ideas, and as you might have guessed, most of these didn't make it to production. Here is that football player with the mechanical leg. Alright, down here is that biker gang member with the shooting helmet. And on the other side over here is that snot gun villain. Pretty cool one there. That one would have been pretty sick. This one here would have had real projectiles that came with the toy, something that you would mix with water and it would shoot it. So yeah, that would have been pretty dang cool. Here is that wrench wrist guy. And down here on the bottom is some sort of radiation guy. Looks like it might be a Radiation Ranger from the Toxic Crusaders, or at least that's what it ended up being. So, yep, most of those original ones were dead on arrival. All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. We got Michelangelo's Sidewalk Surfer, a vehicle that, man, looks absolutely incredible. Would have been super cool, but again, didn't quite make it all the way to production. All right, so the story with this one goes that this originally was an idea for the Turtles, but then they took it and used it for a Toxic Crusaders line that they were also doing, and then they were going to re-release it and slap some TMNT stickers on it, and release it as a TMNT thing, but they just never did that, which is kind of weird. Just seems like it would have been so easy. Next up, we've got two battleships that were considered for the mutant military line, one for the bad guys and one for the good guys, and I personally think that this would have been absolutely just incredible to have as a kid. I mean, I don't know, playing in the pool or the bathtub with these things would have been absolutely a blast, and so mad that they didn't come out with these things. I mean, it says here that would have been 15 to 20 inches long. And I mean, that just seems like a super cool idea for these things. And I mean, we had the sewer sub, so I mean, we could have, crossed it over, incorporated it, and man, that would have just been so much fun. Someone needs to 3D print or use AI to get these things. Can AI do that stuff yet? Anyway. All right, up next is the Popcorn Racer. I've definitely talked about this in a previous video, but this thing is just super cool. This one here, I guess you would shake up a can of soda, load it up in there, and then the power of fizzy carbonation, you use that to propel the vehicle, but man, how messy would that have been? And actually, now thinking about it, yeah, maybe they shouldn't have. All right, up next we've got the Muta Party Wagon. This one here is from 1993. It would have been a turtle van that transforms into a giant metal head. So this one here, I've never really been a huge fan of the transforming turtles, the Muta line. They just never really looked all that great to me. But I don't know, I guess this one could be kind of cool. But what the heck is it going to go against? Krang or something, I guess. But here is some drawings for him. I guess it was supposed to shoot some pizzas. But if they did come out with it, it would look pretty sick on your shelf nowadays, though. Up next, we've got an unreleased Universal Monsters April as the Werewolf. This was supposed to be a 1993 to 1994 release, but for whatever reason, it didn't make it. There's no known hard copies of this one, just that one with the no articulation over there, the one that I was showing. And then here is some sketches, basically April as a cat. I guess these sketches were done around the same time as the Werewolf, so they were also being considered for the April as the Werewolf. All right, so here are some early concept designs for the superhero line, and these ones are basically more or less based on some Marvel characters. Obviously, the Turtle Torch for that first one was for Human Torch. We've got Roughneck Loner on this one, that's Wolverine. And the next one down here, we've got Electro Power Hero. It says here that it's based on some sort of Captain Marvel dude. And then down here, we've got the half cyborg and half Ghost Rider mashup. This guy right here is amazing. They definitely should have came out with these ones instead of the superheroes that they put out. These ones are super cool. I definitely would have got these ones. All right, you guys definitely know the Pizza Tossin' Turtles, but here are two design concepts for the Pizza Tossin' line that were never made, Shredder and Bebop. These things definitely would have been sick sitting next to the rest of the Pizza Tossers. All right, and from the 1994 Cyber line, we've got Rocksteady here. As you can see, the prototype for this guy. Not one of my favorite lines, but I mean, this guy looks pretty cool. All right, and here are some pretty well-known ones. This is for the Warrior line. We've got Warrior Bebop in two different variants. And then, obviously, the Warrior Razar with the actual fur. These ones are very well-known, but I had to go ahead and add them just because they are that cool. All right, and for the Metal Mutants line, we've got a design sketch and an unreleased Metal Mutant Rocksteady prototype here, which is very, very cool looking. I have been wanting to get into these Metal Mutants, especially if I could find one of these prototypes. And for these metal mutant figures, the armor, when you take it off, you can transform it into something. And for this one, as you can see, it would have been a blue and gold dragon. Alright guys, up next we've got Team Ninja. The 1995 Toy Fair catalog had a full page spread on a new assortment called Team Ninja. And the tagline was, "They came from our future to change their past." They're futuristic Team Ninja Turtles. So obviously this was never produced, but 3 of the 4 hard copies were found, but Raph is still missing in action, but might turn up one day, and hopefully it does. Alright, up next is the Muta Force. 2 bad guys were considered for the Muta Force line. As you can see here, this is the Shredder one. I haven't started collecting the Muta Force line yet, but I do think that they definitely needed some bad guys to go up against, so this Shredder would have been pretty cool. The other bad guy was a Rocksteady, which also would have been pretty cool for them to go up against. And they had a few concept designs for a Muta Force party van to go along with the figures in this line. I don't know about you, but I kind of like the top version a little bit more than that bottom one, but I don't know, the face on that bottom one looks kind of cool too. So, I don't know, either one of these would have been kind of cool. Alright guys, you guys know the sports turtles. We've got the hockey player, we've got the baseball player, we had the football player, and the basketball player, but there was another one that they were gonna add. It would have been Referee Shredder. Never really been a super big fan of the sports ones, but yeah, I could take or leave Referee Shredder. Alright, up next we've got Enforcers, which is a would have been a toy line for the 1997 year, and it's obviously police themed, and it says it's Police 2000, but it's likely that these are some early sketches for the Enforcers line. So at the top of the couple designs showing Leo and Mike in the futuristic looking police gear, 2 turtle police renderings for Raph are at the bottom. So it says Police 2000, but I guess it's supposed to be for the Enforcers. And this one here is definitely for the Enforcers. Got some concept designs for them. DEA agent, an officer, SWAT, and Bebop is shown as a highway patrolman. So this was set for 1997, so I would have been like 12. So I probably would have been a little bit out of the TMNT range, but I think I would have kind of liked this line, at least more so than any of the other lines around this time. I always wanted to be a cop, LAPD, when growing up, still do really, but you know, I definitely would have liked this line, which is kind of weird because I never really liked the turtles in like the costumes and stuff, but this one here, it's like I don't know, it's like a more realistic TMNT style, so I definitely would have liked this. Alright, we all know the Giants, Bebop, and Rocksteady, but they were also considering making a giant April. I guess there was an image found in the 1991 Toy Fair catalog, but other than that, that's pretty much the only evidence of one that they were working on. So, but that would have been pretty cool. And I think most TMNT fans by now know about this one here. This layer, this gigantic, huge 2-3 story mansion layer that would have been every turtle kid's fantasy come true. This one seemed like it got pretty far into production. A lot of details, a lot of ideas, and some of the pictures you can see a stained glass shredder. And I mean, I don't know what happened. I'm sure money was an issue as far as producing it and stuff like that. See, there's that stained glass shredder right there up on the second and third level there. But man, this thing would have been sick. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a like and a sub. If you guys like the information and the pictures, it was all from this book, Rad Plastic. go ahead and go get you a copy. Every Turtle fan needs one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.